Today on the Topic Show, Trump, Vivek, and Rand Paul on banning TikTok. Rivian reveals 3 new versions of their electric vehicle fleet. Bass Pro opens their first shop in the Pittsburgh area. Schools tries to force a student to remove the U.S. flag from his truck. Bud Light beers in the fridge, but the ratio is in the freezer. And Trader Joe's has to recall some of their soup dumplings because of a possible plastic contamination. All of that, much more on the Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least toy steak. I say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Rivian unveiled 3 new vehicles, though they are still bleeding money on each one of them sold. Now, this is pretty surprising considering, again, you're seeing the EV trend, continue to push forward, but the adoption rate is decreasing, especially in the United States. Now, it looks like they revealed, they have the original Rivian truck that 18 people bought. I'm kidding, more people than that bought it. But they also have their entry-level SUV, brilliantly named the R2, though such a that's just a lost opportunity. Didn't call it the R2D2. I know Lucasfilm and Disney specifically would sue them into oblivion, but the fact that they don't have any accessory called the D2, there has to be some clever way to incorporate that without getting sued. That type of marketing material just writes itself, but apparently they didn't. Now, they revealed it's going to look like they're going to have the RX, the R3 and the R3X. Very inspiring names. Now, they claim what's most likely under the hood is going to be a 330-mile range and availability to go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. They note that the R2's best feature, the price, what's the worst? It looks like the base price of $45,000 makes the 5-seat SUV the most plausible competitor yet to Tesla's Model Y. Skeptics also question the company's previous production issues, whether Rivian can turn a profit at that price point. And this comes to us thanks to Monica Feek over at LinkedIn News. And again, Rivian, they are technically moving in the right direction from a fiscal perspective. They lost a lot of money, but they're losing less money, if that makes any sense. Now, in 2022, it looks like they lost $154,000 per vehicle sold. But in 2023, they lost $40,000 per vehicle sold, which, again, that's a lot of money. But with anything including EVs, the big upfront investments is not just research and development, but also setting up production, all the factories, and training the employees. So they are moving in the right direction. Now, that being said, they also recently had to, Q4 in 2023 previously, they raised a little more than $1 billion in cash with convertible notes. So that's actually caused their stock to tank quite a bit. And of course, that's going to convert into stock shares. I believe it is this calendar year. And that's going to decrease the stock by increasing the quantity, most imagine. Now, they also noted that Rivian is pausing construction on a $5 billion factory in Georgia. Now, they claim it's because they're cutting costs because of the decreased demand for the vehicles in general. Because, again, the EV adoption rate is continuing to decline, with hybrids being one of the largest, fastest growing categories in the automotive community, especially in the United States. So it'll be interesting to see. Again, this might help Rivian. You see these fascinating phenomena. It really does help to have a aggressive price point entry-level product to get you into some of the bigger brands. One of the best examples, bar none, has to be Yeti coolers, which for over a decade made the $400, $500 cooler that some people actually religiously purchase and they love. But in terms of Freakonomics and the cultural and the adoption rate, they really didn't get a lot of media attention, a lot of mass buying attention until they came out with their Yeti Coaster, the Coaster, what do they call it, silly tumblers. At the time, it cost like $80 for the tumbler, but $80 is a lot less than $400. And people started buying those things in droves, and it became a huge phenomenon. And before you know it, people are buying the more expensive coolers. It was a great way to get them introduced to the brand and learn more about it. And then later they bought the more expensive thing. So again, automotive is one of the much more long-term, much more complex in terms of building customer relations and brand loyalty. But again, if they have the entry-level price point, really aggressive SUV, long term, maybe that gets them interested in buying the larger SUV or the truck. Now, let me know what you think. Do you think Rivian will actually turn a profit per vehicle this fiscal year? Again, uncertain economic unprecedented economic uncertainty. A lot of people are wondering what's going to happen this year. A lot of people are pulling back their spend. So it'll be interesting to see. But I mean, it looks like they are going in the right direction. Though, you know me, I would say it's the wrong direction because all the Rivians only have 2 pedals and an automatic transmission. And there's nothing more boring than that. Again, if you want to actually have fun and be part of the driving experience, you can't really beat driving a good old manual transmission. You know, a vehicle with 3 pedals. They should all be by default, of course. But that's just my 3 cents. It used to be 2 cents, but 40-year hyperinflation, thanks to our inept government, got to be 3 cents. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how to make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.